Welcome to this comprehensive course on artificial intelligence for climate-resilient and climate-smart agriculture. In this session, we will explore how cutting-edge AI technologies are being integrated with time-tested agronomic practices to safeguard our food systems against the increasing threats of drought and climate instability. We will specifically focus on a strategic roadmap developed for Serbia, but the principles we discuss today are globally applicable to any semi-intensive production system facing compound weather hazards. The World Meteorological Organization recently reported that 2015 to 2025 were the 11 warmest years on record. We are now at a tipping point where global temperatures are consistently 1.43 degrees Celsius above the pre-industrial average. This isn't just a statistic, it's a cascading risk that directly impacts crop establishment, flowering, and yield stability. As we push toward the 1.5 degree limit, the frequency of compound drought heat events will only accelerate, demanding a fundamental shift in how we manage agricultural risks. Hello, I am Professor Ivica Jalovic. As an advisor for science at the Institute of Field and Vegetable Crops, I have spent years studying the intersection of climate change and crop physiology. Today, I want to share with you a critical review and strategic perspective on how AI can serve as an enabling layer for agriculture. We aren't looking for a single best model, but rather a validated, uncertainty-aware system that combines local observations with global intelligence to achieve measurable resilience on every farm. By the end of this 15-minute lesson, you will understand three critical domains. First, the biophysical foundations, why technology must follow pedagogy and agronomy. Second, we will navigate the rapidly maturing landscape of global AI weather models, including the specialized Chinese ecosystem. And finally, we will break down the proposed reference architecture for Serbia, including a staged roadmap through 2030 that moves from foundational benchmarking to full national integration. One principle guides everything we do. Adaptation is location-specific. A practice that works on one soil or farm structure may fail in another. This is why AI must be treated as an enabling layer, not a substitute for agronomy. We start with the biophysical foundation, understanding how climate-tolerant genotypes, soil-water conservation, and diversified cropping systems interact. AI can strengthen this portfolio by converting heterogeneous observations into risk estimates, but it must be grounded in biological reality. Genetic adaptation is our first line of defense. We prioritize traits like rapid early canopy closure, deeper root systems, and phenological escape from critical dry periods. AI can significantly accelerate breeding through genomic prediction and high-throughput phenotyping. We are even looking at AI digital brains that harmonize field trial data across multiple locations to identify high-performing materials. However, these digital predictions must always be followed by multi-year field testing and agronomic validation. Soil management is the next critical pillar. It determines how much rainfall actually becomes plant-available water. Timely tillage, residue management, and increasing soil organic matter are essential because irrigation alone cannot compensate for degraded soil structure. While precision soil maps and sensor networks provide incredible data, our recommendations must be based on calibrated measurements and established agronomic thresholds rather than imagery alone. A healthy soil profile is the ultimate buffer against climate variance. Adjusting sowing dates, density, and maturity groups can significantly reduce exposure to high-risk periods. Crop rotation and diversification are not just traditional practices, they are strategic tools to interrupt pest cycles and support soil biological function. AI-supported seasonal outlooks can help us design these portfolios, but our decisions must also account for market access, machinery availability, and farm labor. Technology helps us model the possibilities, but management executes the resilience. Efficient irrigation and nutrient management require a holistic approach. It's not just about applying less water or fertilizer, it's about maximizing productive use while limiting long-term degradation. A robust service should combine soil moisture sensors, weather observations, and ensemble forecasts with crop coefficients. AI can optimize these inputs, but the objective remains sustainable productivity, improving resource efficiency without compromising the environmental performance of the farm. Here we see a synthesis of adaptation measures and their appropriate AI support. Notice how each practice, from disease management to farmer education, maps to a specific decision product. For instance, disease scouting priorities are driven by remote sensing and vision models, while education relies on RAG-based assistance and uncertainty visualization. This systematic mapping ensures that technology serves a clear agronomic purpose, resulting in traceable, expert-reviewed recommendations for the grower. To organize these technologies into a trustworthy national system, we propose a federated architecture. A useful agricultural AI system is a chain of evidence, not a standalone model. It begins with high-quality observations, applies rigorous governance, and combines multiple model classes to convert raw data into actionable products. Importantly, this system must preserve the chain of evidence and place human oversight, agronomists, and experts across every layer of the decision-making process. The foundation of this architecture is a governed agrodata space. This space connects meteorological, soil, satellite, and farm management data under standardized metadata and FAIR principles. We aren't advocating for uncontrolled centralization of all farm data. Instead, we propose a governed federation that allows for authorized computation and reproducible evaluation. By using common identifiers across fields and seasons, we can ensure that every model input is accompanied by a data quality score and clear provenance. The model layer is where the digital twins are born. A useful digital twin isn't just a decorative dashboard, it's a continuously updated representation of the field that links forecasts to state variables like biomass and nitrogen status. We combine official numerical ensembles with downscaling models, Earth observation foundation models, and biophysical process models. This multi-model approach allows us to estimate the crop state and compare management scenarios with a level of precision that was previously impossible. Every decision has its own horizon, and as this figure shows, each requires a specific class of AI model. For short-range warnings like hail or heat alerts, we rely on nowcasting systems. For field operations in the 1 to 15-day range, we use probabilistic ensembles. And for long-term infrastructure and decadal adaptation, we turn to climate scenarios and impact models. Understanding which model to use for which task is critical to avoiding false precision and making sound agronomic calls. The landscape of global weather modeling is changing rapidly. Leading institutions like ECMWF have moved from research demonstrations to continuous operations with systems like AIFS version 2. This represents a major institutional signal. Meteorological practice is becoming hybrid, merging traditional physics-based models with purely data-driven neural approaches. These global systems now provide the foundation upon which we can build more localized, agriculture-specific advisory tools for regional production zones. In this table, we see the leaders in the field. Google DeepMind's GenCast and WeatherNext2 are pushing the boundaries of probabilistic forecasting with high temporal detail. Microsoft's Aurora offers a broad Earth system scope, covering everything from air quality to waves. While these systems show incredible skill on global benchmarks, they still require regional verification and bias correction before they can be used for field-level decisions in places like Serbia or Central Europe. We must also recognize the diversity of the Chinese AI ecosystem, which has developed some of the most specialized models for agriculture. China's approach covers everything from global deterministic forecasting to precipitation nowcasting and remote sensing foundation models. These systems aren't just academic exercises. They are being evaluated for their scientific performance across a wide range of agricultural tasks, providing valuable lessons for our own national program and technological architecture. Among the Chinese models, Pangu Weather and the Fuxi family stand out for their medium-range skill. But for agriculture, systems like AgriFM are particularly relevant. AgriFM was pre-trained on over 25 million multi-source temporal samples for crop and field mapping. Additionally, large language models like DeepSeek V4 are showing potential for grounded advisory interfaces, helping to summarize evidence and call deterministic tools while maintaining strict safeguards against hallucination. Earth observation foundation models are another breakthrough. These models, like Alpha Earth or the open-source Prithvi-EO, transform massive archives of satellite data into reusable representations for crop mapping, disaster monitoring, and stress detection. They allow us to reduce the amount of labeled data needed for new tasks. For example, ESA's 2026 Tessera release offers annual Sentinel embeddings that are compact and accessible for forest and crop applications, significantly lowering the technical barrier for geospatial analysis. The key to success is choosing the right model stack for the right task. As this guide suggests, for irrigation and nutrient recommendations, the most reliable pathway is not a single algorithm, but a stack that combines forecast ensembles with soil crop digital twins and constrained optimization. For farmer advisory dialogues, a language model with retrieval augmented generation provides the best interface. This task to model mapping ensures that our technology is always fit for purpose and grounded in agronomic necessity. Looking ahead, Serbia's strategy for AI in agriculture is built on a clear, staged roadmap from 2026 to 2030. We are moving away from isolated pilots toward a federated public interest infrastructure. Our goal is to connect national data, research institutions, and advisory expertise under shared standards. This ensures that the benefits of AI reach farms of all sizes, providing calibrated and regionalized support that is used voluntarily to improve the resilience of our entire agricultural sector. Phase 1, starting in 2026, focuses on establishing governance and defining benchmarks. By Phase 2, in 2027, we will deploy operational multi-model drought and heat services. Phase 3 targets the development of validated digital twins, and by 2030, in Phase 5, we aim for full national integration. This staged approach allows for continuous monitoring, evaluation, and adjustment based on real-world performance, ensuring that our targets are set after baseline measurement rather than invented in advance. How do we judge the success of such a program? It must be by agronomic and public value, not just model novelty. We focus on 4 key domains: meteorological skill, agronomic skill, decision quality, and environmental performance. A forecast that improves accuracy without changing a farmer's action is not a success. We measure our progress by yield stability, resource efficiency, and the distribution of benefits across small and large farms alike. This framing ensures we stay focused on real outcomes. Our evaluation metrics are rigorous. For meteorology, we look at threshold exceedance and lead times. For agronomy, we track phenology and soil-water balance errors. But the most important metric is decision quality. How much value did the AI add relative to baseline practice under uncertainty? We also prioritize AI assurance, tracking data drift, and ensuring that models remain explainable and traceable. This comprehensive framework is what makes our system both scientifically sound and practically useful. We must also be honest about the risks. Climate change means that future conditions may lie outside our historical experience, leading to distribution shifts that models can't handle. We must detect these out-of-distribution conditions and defer to expert review. Furthermore, we must guard against language model hallucinations by grounding all operational answers in approved sources. AI is a powerful tool, but it requires professional confirmation for high-risk recommendations to prevent economic or environmental harm. Data sovereignty is a strategic priority. Farmers must retain rights over their sensitive operational data, and our systems must use strong authentication to protect against cyber-physical risks. We must also ensure that our services don't widen the digital divide. Public policy must support low-bandwidth channels and regional service centers so that AI benefits small farms, not just large enterprises. Inclusiveness is not just an ethical objective, it's critical for the resilience of the entire system. In conclusion, climate-resilient agriculture begins and ends with agronomy. AI is the lens that makes our practices more anticipatory and precise. By integrating global forecasts, mapping crop conditions, and simulating management scenarios, we can improve our communication and decision-making. The most advanced model landscape is international, but its value is highest when it is locally calibrated, independently evaluated, and supervised by professionals like you. Together, we are building a more resilient future. Let's recap the main takeaways. First, prioritize pedagogy and agronomy before technology. Second, establish a federated and governed agro data space. Third, select model stacks based on the specific decision task and horizon. And finally, follow a staged implementation roadmap that focuses on measurable resilience. These 4 pillars provide a realistic pathway toward more stable production and better resource efficiency in the face of a changing climate. This lesson was synthesized from the primary source materials and peer-reviewed research available through July 2026. For those who wish to dive deeper into the data and specific model evaluations, I encourage you to consult the full scientific review draft and the institutional reports from our partners. Scientific claims and references should be verified before making any high-stakes operational decisions. Thank you for your commitment to learning and agricultural resilience. In our next session, we will shift from the strategic roadmap to the technical execution of building regional crop soil digital twins. we will look at how to harmonize field trial data with remote sensing foundation models to create accurate, actionable representations of our agricultural systems. Until then, reflect on how these AI tools can best support the agronomic goals in your own production zone. I look forward to seeing you in the next lesson.